Mike, can we get some water so I can say the words?
Say the
I'm
words.
gonna get some H2O in here. I'm gonna pass out.
I know.
Oh, Mikey's got it. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mr. Davey Squires.
Hello and welcome to the Squires Station. I am your host, Davey Squires, and this episode is presented by Area 67 Studios here in Cuyahoga Falls. And today on the show, we got Cletus from Stimpy's Revenge coming up in here. He's an alien himself. He's coming in Area 67. What you doing, Cletus?
Hey, what's happening, Davey? Glad to be here. I'm Coach Cletus. You know.
Technical.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in Area 67. I've been abducted, and I feel pretty good about it.
I feel like we're in, main control here.
I feel like I'm home.
You belong here, man.
There was open arms, and I see familiar family photos everywhere. Cleti of the fourth kind.
We got Nick over here, too.
Yes, we do have Nick. I don't know, can people see us? Can they see anything we're doing here?
Oh, no.
Okay. Well, for your listeners, and you too, I brought essentially a stuffed alien, and it represents our original bass player, Mr. Nick Wines. May he rest in peace. And yes, he does have green balls here. You can't see that, but he does.
We'll have pictures on the Instagram and the Facebook.
Oh, yeah, we'll have to take some pictures of that. So, yeah, I brought Nick because he's been gone from the band now for a little over 3 years. We miss him. He had severe complications with diabetes, but so I brought him as a representation and get him out of the house. We all just got to get out of the house.
Yeah, we're kind of cooped up here, you know. And he's holding the Buzzbin sticker, too.
Yeah, he is. We like Buzzbin, a local area shop, and they promote bands, and we love that. And
also, Brandon McCutcheon's over there painting his heart away.
Yes, he is. I wish everybody could see this. I mean, he's really getting down, man.
Well, actually, that's the one thing we're taking video of.
Oh, okay, yeah.
On the beautiful screen.
I'm glad to see Brandon. We've met him through the scene as well from, the whole art and music and flow scene. It really brings people together, doesn't it? He's always been a strong supporter, and boy, that dude can cut a rug, too.
Oh, yeah. He can really do the calypso.
He really gets people going, man. He kind of reminds me of Tim McCrides.
Oh, yeah.
Now that dude can cut a rug, too. He'll chop the stage off. He'll shred.
He'll chop the stage into thirds. He can cut a rug.
Yes, he can.
None other. But this episode's really going to be an experiment here because Brandon's over there painting while we're doing the interview.
Yeah, I feel it. Feels good.
Anyway, Cletus, you've had a pretty eventful year.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to claim the whole year to myself because we've all been dealing with this crisis. But yeah, it's been personally one heck of a year. Honestly, for you and your listeners, this year, 2020, actually started off really good. I had, and we all had high expectations for all our bands that we know and all the artists and fire spinners. Had great expectations. My year actually started off really well, and I think yours did too. I mean, we rung in the new year. Great show. We even had Maddie Indre open for us. She did a great job. I think, didn't you destroy the Stimpy's Revenge Burger that night, or what night was that?
That was, I think that was last year.
But anyway, yeah, getting back to that. This year actually started off really well with that great show, ringing in the new year with the full band. You were there. And then 2 weeks later, we had another show at the same location, and it was really good, and it was an open kind of forum. We had some guests and whatnot, and it went really well. And I guess now that's where this story really starts for me, because I know you're trying to get it out of me. And that very evening, it was 2 weeks after the New Year's show, and we were closing up. We were loading up our gear like we always do. Thousands of dollars worth of equipment in a $200 car. But I felt a little headache But, it was that time of year where a lot of sinus was going on. Everybody had colds and whatnot. I just didn't think nothing of it, but I decided to go home a little early. So I did. I went home, and I had that little bit of a headache over my left eye. Didn't think much of it. But then 2 hours later, I was abruptly woke up with severe pain, swelling. I don't want to get too graphic, but there was some pus and blood out of nowhere. So, I went to the emergency room. They misdiagnosed me, so I spent another week in pain and not knowing what to do, thinking, I don't want to go to the doctor. I've never had a medical history. So, I'm a guy, too. Who wants to go to doctors? Who wants to ask for directions? Where's my car keys? Where's my cell phone? I don't know what I'm doing here. So I have a friend, and you probably met her before, Linda Janelli. She's a strong supporter of Stimpy's Revenge, always has. And she actually worked across the street from where I lived. It was an eye specialist. So I figured, hey, it's eye-related. My eye is killing me. I just spent 2 weeks at home in pain, with no sleep, couldn't eat. I was starting to hallucinate, and not in a good way.
Yeah.
So I walked over there with some help, and they quickly diagnosed me, saying basically they couldn't help me. They was like, you need to go to a hospital. You don't belong here. And because they had connections and they were doctors, they got me in right away at a local hospital. And that was my first experience with pain relief, because they asked me, where's your pain level on a scale of 1 to 10? And I'm like, 20.
Yeah.
So they immediately gave me a shot of morphine. And that just came over me like a warm blanket.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, relief, finally. I've been suffering for 2 weeks and didn't even know why. I thought it was just a common cold or sinus infection. So, that was the start of it. And, I don't know how much detail you want me to get in, but I can tell you a little story and basically recap the year as a whole.
That's crazy. I got to say, that's crazy that pain started right after that open mic.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like,
right afterwards.
it could have happened at any point.
Yeah, any point.
Yeah.
And I would have had to, go home or, take a rest. So, I got into the hospital, and yes, they relieved my pain, and I was thankful for that. But they still didn't know what was going on with me, so they scanned me several times. One of them scans where you lay down still, real still, and they scan you real quick, excuse me. So I spent a few days in that hospital until they could interpret these scans, and nobody there could interpret them. So they was like, okay, well, you're going to Cleveland. So I had to find my own ride to University Hospitals in Cleveland. Great hospital. I got up there. I found a ride. And again, they gave me more pain relief because I was in a lot of pain. And so I had this huge infection. And they couldn't do anything for me until that infection was gone. So they pumped me with every antibiotic they had. I was taking pills. I was getting shots. I had IVs.
Mm-hmm.
In the course of the time I was up there, I was poked and prodded so many times my skin started to just harden up. You couldn't even stick anything else in it. It was a weird experience, and I was kind of afraid for the first time in my life because I didn't know what was going on. I don't have any history. I'm a relatively healthy guy. And so there I was in Cleveland, spent nearly 2 weeks in there after they got the infection to calm down. They cut me from ear to ear, peeled my face down, managed to save my eye because they said the first thing I was going to lose was that eyeball.
Wow.
I was like, oh, great. So I was prepared for that, mentally preparing. But they did save the eyeball, but getting ahead a little bit, I still have troubles with that eye. I have double vision.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always trying to correct my vision, and I do have pain still. Which
Is it like a nerve?
I think it's trauma done not only from the operation, but from the bulging and the infection. The muscles are not working together.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing in stereo always. If I don't have to look down or side to side, I'm pretty good. Looking forward and straight up, the muscles seem to work together. I see in stereo. It's a very uneasy feeling seeing double when you're not prepared, especially if you're driving. And I don't drive much, but I still have a license and I still drive with caution. I would never put myself or anybody in danger of that. I just have to concentrate and compensate how I move my neck or something like that.
Yeah. I got to ask, are you getting used to the...
I'm not getting used to it. I'm just managing it, you know. I'm trying to find a way to deal with it every day and not let it be controlling, you know, because I'm not that guy. I always want to be doing something, and that kind of knocked me down a little bit.
Yeah.
But getting back to that, they cut a hole in my skull, and I have a plate there now, and they did a successful job, and I went home and just recovered, you know, trying to do my own thing. I was still experiencing pain, but I was my own kind of nurse, you know. I had to clean my wounds twice a day, take all these medicines and remember to take them at this time, and care for my eyeball. And that's where most of my time was spent recovering. But in that time, I kind of shared my story with so many people that it connected not only me with so many people and all the love and prayers that got me home and all those good vibes, but it connected those people with other people. And we just kept connecting the dots. And of course, at that point in my life, I was like, what have I been doing with my life? What have I been doing? What am I doing now? And what am I going to do in the future? Because I'm still here, still alive. I'm still viable. And a young woman named Sarah Lally, you know her, she kind of explained to me what I've been doing. She says I've been making rock soup. That's what I've been doing all these years. And that's basically, in basic terms, is sharing myself and making something bigger. And just keep connecting those dots and share and share and share. And before you know it, you got this big pot of robust soup, and it's for everybody. And that put everything in perspective. So I was like, well, I guess I do have a purpose. Just keep doing what I've been doing and don't give up. So that's what I've been doing since then. I've hooked up with really great musicians. We even tried, even through this COVID climate and the way society has been, we still tried to do some shows. We really struggled. I know COVID really leveled the playing field for all musicians and artists. We're just like, now what do we do? But we tried. We really tried. As Stimpy's Revenge, we tried to do shows. You know, you were right there. You're a great part of this band. And we hope to get back at it soon. And you even persevered. You went ahead with your tour, and it turned out better than we thought. You had a great tour, and you kept active, and we did too as a band. But then it fell off pretty much after 4th of July, and we just couldn't do it anymore. It was too much of a struggle. So I spent a lot of time at home playing with the guitar, you know, picking up something new. I've dibble-dabbled with guitar, but now it was really my best friend to recover and just, utilize my time constructively and not just fall into like depression and being all sad what happened to me with that big surgery and everything. Actually, I had 2. It didn't jade me. It was probably one of the best things that ever happened to me, really. I mean, yeah, I suffer a little bit, and I'm still trying to manage that pain, but it's brought me together. So many people, and more importantly, it's brought so many people together aside from me. I'm really happy about that, and even got hooked up with a good group called My Free Ohio. They've done some good things, still doing good things. We're trying to work with them. We can never give up the fight, you know. We want to legalize the tree of life. there's so much medicinal purposes and so many good things that we can do with it. And we're being squelched all the time.
I concur.
Yes. I see you're concurring right now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Well, I was going to ask, since you brought up your music and this whole experience, like having surgery twice, has that changed the way you look upon you playing music? Has that changed your style at all?
I don't know if it's changed my style, but it's definitely inspired me to hone my style, whatever that is. I don't think I've changed it. I just play with my heart, whatever makes me feel good, and I'm pretty certain that whatever makes me feel good is probably going to make the audience feel good. Because we're all so connected, and we are one, universal.
Oh, yeah.
You know. And I got to hand it to you guys. All the guys in the band were really supportive of me, and I probably surprised you guys getting back behind the drums so quickly. And we did some pretty stellar shows before, COVID really shut everything down.
Well, like those first shows, I was kind of worried about you playing for a long period of time because you just had surgery the month before.
Yeah.
I was like, is he gonna pass out or what? What's gonna happen here?
And I felt the same way, but it was just, I'm so driven. Music is my life, and you guys are part of that. Ooh.
Well, what'd you say? Was this the break you kind of needed? Because I know you're always going on to the next thing and always go.
You're right. I'll be honest with you. It probably was a much-needed break. Not the break I expected.
Yeah.
Or anybody, really, with, a global crisis.
Yeah.
My own personal little crisis going on. But I don't let that stuff get me down. I don't know. I guess I'm just lucky like that. I don't fall into depression, really. And when I see other people falling into depression, I try to quickly be there for them. I may not have the cure, but I'll at least be there for you.
Yeah.
And maybe that's all it takes, someone to listen to you or just be there. I'm glad to get out of the house right now. I'm glad I was abducted here at the Area 67.
It's so green.
Yes, it really is. I'm just blending in.
It's like a sea of green over here.
Hey now. That's a reference I can relate to.
So okay, here's a hypothetical scenario for you. So it's Monday afternoon. You're gonna grab lunch. Where do you go?
My new spot is the Irish Pub and Grill.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I love that place. The people are kind and beautiful, and the food's really good.
In Massillon.
In Massillon, right behind the AAA. And that kind of reminds me of another thing. Since, I'm not doing so much with my own band, I've been trying to reach out and help other bands. And one particular band is the Intangibles. And
they were on the show.
They were on the show. And coincidentally, we share the same bass player, Mr. Ballistic Blake Owens. Or Oaks.
Blake Owens.
Yeah, that's an inside joke. But, so I've just been helping them out a little bit. They're pretty busy recording and all that, but we did a few shows and great turnouts and some good ideas and just building that relationship a little bit more, Mm-hmm. I'm not going out and getting them stadium shows or anything like that. Nobody is really, but they're there. I'm here, and I'm working with them. I'm in their corner, and we've always supported local bands. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, that's where we found you, Land of Panda. You was in Land of Panda for a long time, and we did a lot of shows together. I could just go on and on. Just building relationships with Tropodelic and Drunken Sunday and Vanishing Apollo and Dynamo Love. It just keeps going on and on and on. And it's just been a wild ride. it was unfortunate that the COVID did cancel 8 of our festivals this year. But at least we got some shows in.
Yeah.
And, it was nice.
There's a silver lining.
Yeah. And now I'm just kind of, like you said, taking it easy, taking that break. I have a new home now, and that keeps me busy. Once you have a home, there's always something you got to do.
2 dogs.
And 2 dogs, Loki and Belle. 2 little Chihuahua mixes, and they're cute. But, those little dogs like to bark a lot.
Belle. Belle.
Oh, Belle.
Oh.
They're little lap dogs, but they're devoted, and, they count on you, so we love them. We love the pets.
Were those, what were, didn't you have a dog before?
Yeah, there was, I think you remember Spanky.
Yeah.
She's still around. She's got a new partner now. His name's Pork Chop. And he's a Chihuahua, too. It's like I'm being surrounded by Chihuahuas.
Yeah, it's like a Chihuahua brigade, man.
It is.
Well, it's really crazy to think about that you were in the hospital like 2 weeks before the whole COVID thing.
Yeah.
Like, how I forget the specific dates, but it was really close to
it was close. Yeah.
Like that's crazy to think about.
Yeah, it was. It was what a weird climate when it came down to that. Where I lived, it seemed like a ghost town. It was kind of eerie.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, whatever's necessary, we got to get through this as a community, as a country.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, still going.
Yeah, we're still operating. We're still motivating. I just hope we can come to a clear end to all this and start going to live shows again. And entertaining folks. They really miss it.
Yeah, I think it's an important thing too. I think this whole experience has made the general public realize how important the local art scene is.
Oh, very.
Like and how fragile it is too.
Yep, just like that. It's just like a faucet. You can turn it on or off. I didn't realize it could happen that quick.
Mm-hmm. Because you see a lot of these local venues, shut down, and some of them closing for good.
Yes.
It's crazy to think about.
Yep. It's really leveled the field for bands that tour the world or even right here in our country's borders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would try not to worry, though. Worrying is really just a waste of time. So I just don't worry about it. Stay positive and spread that positivity.
Well, I just want to say before we continue here, Mike provided the water.
Yes. Good water.
Dasani, Pure Life.
That's high quality.
Pure water. Purified water.
I made my own water.
He's shaking up homemade water over there.
Homemade water.
He's shaking up the water over there.
My water's purple.
So it would be an understatement to say that you had a year.
Yes, I had one heck of a year. But we all have. And that's kind of why I've been reaching out with so many people. I received so much high energy that I had no choice really but to give it back, and that's what I'm doing, so we can keep everybody on the positive end of things.
Yeah.
We were talking about this earlier, even for college students. Look what it's done. We've probably seen tobacco and alcohol sales go way up since this has happened in February or March. And the poor students, they're feeling that too. They're home now.
Yeah.
And they got to be responsible. And it's hard to be responsible when you're home and you got a fridge full of this and that, and you can...
Online classes,
it's got to be tough. If I was a different person, I probably would have took advantage of that, buying stock in alcohol and tobacco. I'm going to clean up.
Oh, yeah.
But I ain't like that. I've always lived very modestly. I feel like a millionaire already. I've always been so rich with friends and good people and good vibes. and just a good outlook on life. That's all you need.
Well, it's like Bob Marley says. Some people are so poor, all they got is money.
Yeah.
So
I feel that. They got more dollars than cents.
and you gotta take stock in other people. Like you gotta take stock in caring about other people and helping out when it's needed. And
That's important.
Yeah.
Yep. Money doesn't really mean that much to me. I realize it's a thing we all need, but to pay our bills and whatnot, we're just circulating anyway. Sometimes we have a lot, sometimes we have a little.
Yeah. It's like a waterfall.
Yeah. Don't go chasing waterfalls now. Yeah, this is really cool place to be here. Area 67, meeting the guys, Mike and Mike. It's been a really good experience so far. I mean, we got water.
We got H2O.
Yeah.
So we touched on it a little bit earlier. What are some of your favorite venues around the local area here?
Well, we had a really fun one, but I know it's gone. But the Stone Tavern was fun. We always had a good time there. I got so many good memories, so many fond memories. So that was a fun local one, Stone Tavern.
So many memories there.
Yeah. So many lost memories there. Another one would be, well, we talked about this, the Outpost. That was a cool one. Got to do some sold-out shows there with the likes of Carlos Jones and Tropodelic and, Drunken Sunday, all them guys. I think Brandon was even bringing that up. It could have been the last time we seen each other was at one of them shows.
Yeah.
And of course, getting more local to where I live, Buzzbin, great venue. They're really staying above water. They're doing everything they can to stay above water.
And they just opened up a record.
Yeah, they got a record store.
Yeah.
We like that. In fact, we got to celebrate your birthday a little bit there. That was nice.
Yeah, with Scotty.
Yep.
Yeah, that's where we had the benefit, too.
Oh, yeah. I got to thank you and Sarah for putting that together. That benefit didn't just benefit me. It benefited everybody that showed up. We just had a really good time. And the entertainment was nice, and it was really well-rounded. We had a little bit of everything for everybody, and people showed. And we raised some money because, I was hurting. And I haven't been back to my 9-to-5 job, all year. I'm probably not going to, because I have been trying to push my limits, see what I'm capable of, so I can contribute to my family and myself and to the world. And I can work about 3 or 4 hours, and then my eyesight's all over the place. I start getting a pain in my head. And I've been going to doctors for almost a year, and they still can't explain the pain, but they claim that it has nothing to do with my surgeries. And I think they just think I want some drugs, I want painkillers, and I really don't. I do want relief. If you say if I ate more cherries or watermelon, I would have less pain. I would do that. But, but I do have some experience with medications, and I do know it works for me, but they won't prescribe those. But they tried. They gave me migraine headache pills and steroids, Lanacane patches. They tried everything but what I really think I need.
Yeah.
The only experience I ever had with pain relief was when I first went in, and they're trying to ease my pain, and then I had the operation, so I know that stuff works. But they're just trying to cover their butt and don't want to see anybody get addicted to anything.
Yeah.
And I don't drink alcohol, I don't smoke, so I thought maybe I just let time heal. Maybe in time all the pain will go away. The pain I experience is further apart now.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be like every week I could have pain for a day or 3 days in a row, but now it seems to be spread out a little more, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, for them to say it has nothing to do with the surgery, though, I don't know. That's kind of like
right. And I'm not trying to start any trouble, so I just take it for what they're saying, and I go on. They say take a Tylenol, and I say, fuck that.
Yeah, Tylenol doesn't do shit. Like,
Tylenol never even worked on my hangovers.
Yeah,
when I used to have those.
Doesn't even work on my headaches. Like
I know.
when I'm completely sober. Like seriously, like it doesn't do
right
anything. Like
and I've been trying to medicate myself in different ways. I really wish the ancient city of Aleutian was still around because everybody needs to experience that. It was a city, I don't know if you ever heard of it. It was an ancient city where people could go and experience psychedelics in the right way. It was like a retreat. Like you're going there, you know what you're going to do. You're going to be in a controlled environment. You're going to have someone to help you, walk you through your journey. And it changed people for the better, really. And I think everybody should experience that once in their life, a psychedelic experience, tapping into the reaches of our own mind and connecting with the universe, because I know I have, and it changed my life. I think everybody should do that. Politicians, priests, doctors, they should all experience that, even just everyday people.
Well, I put in for a federal holiday where everybody just takes some acid and
that's a good start.
Chill out,
Or mushrooms. Mushrooms have been widely used for thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of years. So I don't have any problem with that.
That'd be cool. I feel like politicians wouldn't exist then. Yeah,
exactly.
Like
I think that's where I was going with that.
They would cease to exist. No more politics.
Yep, and we wouldn't miss it.
Yeah. Get it out of here.
Yeah.
Get it all out of here.
So, in case your listeners haven't noticed, we have a strange sense of humor, but like the thrilling Tim Schilling says, it's a humor that it's very corruptible. It spreads, but it's fun and it's a little offbeat, but it doesn't hurt anybody.
Yeah. So I get this question a ton. How did Stimpy's Revenge, like, where did the name come from? I get that question a lot.
I can tell you. I'm one of the few people who probably can tell you the story.
The listeners want to know.
Yeah, right. It's hard choosing a band name because you think you got it and then you question yourself and then you change it and you think you got it and then you don't know. And then one day it just happened and we decided that we're going to ride this out and see how long it sticks, because even Stimpy's Revenge at first didn't sound right to us. And we had some other things too. It just didn't sound right. We're just like, what are we going to do? But the origin of the band name simply came from me going to rehearsal in the early days, the inception of Stimpy's Revenge, before we had a name. And Ryan, our singer / lead guitar player, guitar ninja, Lil Raptor.
Ryan Murphy.
Ryan Murphy, Chin Nose. He had a cat that he coincidentally named Stimpy for the well-known show Ren and Stimpy. We all loved that. And they had great humor, kind of like the humor we all kind of feed off of. So he had this cat, and he'd had it for quite a while, probably like 5 years. And I had just met Ryan, so I'm coming over, and I had a little Chihuahua. You didn't meet this one. I had a little Chihuahua named Ziggy. Wasn't Ren, but he looked like Ren. So I was at a point in my life where I couldn't leave this little puppy at home. It needed constant attention. So I just brought it to rehearsal with me that day. And, of course, we know Ren and Stimpy, the show, Stimpy always got the short end of the stick. I mean, he was always the one getting hammered and getting injured and always being cut down by Ren.
He's like the Jerry in Tom and Jerry. Or no, he's Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the cat. Yeah. So I bring my little Chihuahua, and this cat was not having it. So it basically karate chopped my my dog and beat him up. And then Ryan was like, "Oh, he got his revenge, Stimpy's revenge." And then I just repeated it and repeated it some more and repeated it some more, and before you know it, was like, "Hey, that's got a ring to it." And we just quickly started naming our band Stimpy's Revenge and held to it. And now here it's been 7 years later, and everybody knows us. I mean, they may not have seen us perform live, but they know the name and they know the logo. And that was another thing that grew. We didn't originally have the alien theme, because this was building. This was, now we got the name. Now let's build off that. So me always trying to go to the next thing, next level, was trying to think, okay, how are we going to brand ourselves? What's our logo going to be? What's it going to look like? And we tried some different things. We had a cat skull, since we were riding this Stimpy thing. But that didn't last long, because we quickly went to the alien. I was inspired. I guess I brought that into the mix. Because my girlfriend at the time, she bought me one of those inflatable aliens that you see at carnivals or car shows.
Yeah.
And she brought it to me, and I liked it, and I was going to festivals with it, kind of like a decoration, how we all decorate our campsites and whatnot. And
this was the first Cletus.
yeah, it was the first Cletus, and I had taken it to Hookahville, and I met some great people there. But I woke up one morning, I think I was there Friday, I woke up Saturday morning, and my alien was gone. Somebody had abducted it. And I was like, oh, no, I got to get this back. It was the only one I had at the time. But through the years, I've had hundreds. I've sell them. I have them on stage. Once we got the alien logo, our stage show blew up and our merchandise blew up, and we just really rode that out. But I spent most of the morning at this festival, how you walk around through the woods, trying to find my Cletus. And I'm asking all these people, like I'm a investigator, we're stopping at different campsites. Have you seen this Cletus? And believe it or not, everybody I stopped at said, yeah, we did see him. He was over here, and these guys had him, and blah, blah, this girl had. So here I am, hot on the trail. And I had a fellow camper who was camping next to me come with me.
It's like Sherlock Holmes, dude.
Yeah, I was Sherlock Holmes, and he was my Watson, and we're on the case. And long story short, we finally found it. We found that Cletus in somebody's campsite, but they were all passed out. These were younger guys, definitely younger than I was. This inflatable alien was taped up, bound, gagged, Sharpie marker all over it, saying all different kinds of obscenities and stuff all over it. It was totally defiled. And I went in there and I picked him up. It was like laying on the ground next to somebody who was laying on the ground too, asleep. And I, instead of waking him up and making a scene, saying, hey, why'd you steal my alien? It was clearly mine, It was attached to my canopy. And so I just took it and ran with it. And, of course, I had to replace that one because it was so defiled. But I still kept them around for a while. And then once I started getting so many more, we started using them on stage. And some people even relate aliens or the appearance of an alien to good smoke, cosmic cannabis.
Yeah.
And so all of it just started gelling together. And so we had that logo, and as I'm speaking, I'm looking at all these alien heads here at the Area 67 recording studio. So I just feel perfectly at home here. I really do.
Hey guys, Davey here. This is just part 1 of 2 episodes of the Cletus and Brandon Experience. So click on the next episode on the playlist or on Spotify or Apple Music or whatever you use to listen to this gosh darn show and continue the experience to part 2.